The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jenn, and today we're going to talk about two interesting lineups coming up on June 28th of 2022. We're going to talk about the Neptune going into retrograde in Pisces, which is a water sign, and we're talking astrology right now. And we're also going to talk about the new moon in Cancer, which is also a water sign, coming in right behind it, June 28th, 29th-ish, depending on where you are located in the world. Now, both of these being water signs, that's a lot of water energy, and that's a sensitive side of us. That's emotional. We feel things. We also have a new moon, which is new beginnings in a water sign. But Neptune going retrograde is significant, lining up together. This is quite the energy for a spiritual journey. This is going to take us to that side of us more, maybe more than we're used to. Because if you're listening to this show, you're pretty much interested in things like that. So even if you've had spiritual awakenings, you've been on this path for years, you might find that this takes you to another level of it, or a little bit more on your intuitive abilities, connecting with different dimensions, things like that might be happening more. And if you're brand new to this and you've been searching for answers, you're going, what is going on? I've never heard or seen, I never took that seriously. I understand. We're going to talk about a little bit of this because when we're working with a lot of water energy, the saying go with the flow really comes to mind, because moving with the current instead of against the current helps us a lot. So we're going to talk about that. And sometimes it's just better to let go, release, trying to control everything that we're so concerned we want it to come out a certain way. This energy wants us to just trust the universe a little bit more. So it's a little bit different. We're going to work with the angel realm. Good angels to work with that would work with this type of energy is Michael. Always Michael's a go-to for all kinds of stuff. When you need to disconnect from toxic energy, or you're feeling the fear come in, anxiety type things like that, or you just need to feel safe. That's your angel. Haniel is great with moon energy. Doesn't matter if it's full moon or new moon or whatever cycle. Haniel, Archangel Haniel, is very tied to the lunar cycles, can help you with that. Also, spirituality and psychic abilities, intuition, things like that. So that's going to be a good angel to work with. And the other one, because we're in Cancer season, is Gabriel, of course. Gabriel is a great angel for this one. We went and did a show just on Cancer season with Gabriel a couple of weeks ago, if you want to check that out. But Gabriel's great for communication, creativity, artistic abilities. Seeing things with a different perspective can help us at times. And all of this stuff is tying up together in this energy. So it's a sensitive sign with water signs anyway. You feel it more. Water energy deals with emotions a lot, but it just takes us to this deeper side of us. So let me dive in and start this so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here. So first off, I want to talk about Neptune Retrograde. This begins on June 28th. That's when it will station in retrograde in Pisces. another sign that's very tied to higher dimensions and spirituality and psychic abilities, intuition, all that good stuff. So you see, we have quite the lineup if this is something you're interested in developing a little bit more, tapping in. And for some of us, we might be just starting this. All right, so this also brings this very strong water energy into our lives. Now, the element of water, like I said, it's go with the flow. It's, if you could imagine, and this is a great meditation, if you could imagine that when you're feeling, you know, the bumpiness of what you might be feeling with all this water energy, if you were to just float in the water, just float, you know, whether you're on a raft or just floating with your own self, and just let the current take you where it's where the universe is trying to show you something. That's a great meditation visual to use. It's a visualization, and you're just letting go to see where it takes you. It's trusting, okay, there's obviously something I need to see. And what will happen sometimes is when we're trying to control that, or we're afraid of where it's taking us because it's unknown to us, that's when it can get bumpy for us, because we're resisting that it's trying to let us just go with it. So if you fight it, you know, if you grew up along the ocean like I did, you learn how to not fight a current, how to go parallel with the beach when the riptides are going on. It reminds me of that as well. You don't fight it, you learn how to work with it, with an energy coming in, however this might be aligning with you. These are just analogies that I'm giving you to help you kind of grab the concept of what I'm talking about. So the element of water is connecting with the emotions, like I said, and it's allowing that sensitive side to have a place in your life, to not shut it down, to not feel like it's not important, not to feel that it's a weaker side of you. The sensitive side is very connected to your spiritual side, because when we allow that side to be a part of our life, now we're listening and we're attuning, and it helps us with an easier access to align with our soul, our true self. Some of the things with spiritual journey is that whole purpose, the whole journey, the whole lifetime, we have an ego side of us, that's our physical existence here on planet Earth. And then we have this soul side of us that is our true self, the purpose we're here. And it's when they're not aligned that it just feels unsatisfying. We just feel like something's missing. The goal is to align them together, to work together in harmony. And this side of us sometimes gets shut down, like it's the weaker side, you know, don't be so sensitive and don't, you know, all that. Well, it's a part of who we are. And I feel that if we accept that side of us, it's not to weaken you, it's to show you different perspectives and a deeper level of a connection with spirit and the universe and your other dimensions, your angels, your guides. Your guardian angel's always there, but do you really feel that connection? So this will address a little bit more of this side of us. Now, water energy also naturally wakes up your intuition. It's just part of, how do we just know or have that intuitive, I'm feeling something, you know, what's my intuition telling me? Everybody has intuition. You just get that gut feeling, this is right or wrong for you, or yes, no, you know, you want to listen and you want to trust that. This energy connects with that side of you. Do you trust that part of you? And psychic abilities, that's going to be picking up other dimensions, your angels, listening to spirit guides, or, you know, just having that connection with a loved one that may have crossed over. If you've been working on things like that, this energy works with that. So does Archangel Haniel. Remember that. So we also, it takes us to a consciousness that's more aware. We're more aware of the unseen world. We're more aware there's a lot more going on here than just what meets the eye here. And it takes us into this deeper meaning of everything and how it's all connected. You know, when you're just plugging along in your physical life, in your physical world, and you don't feel connected to this side of you, this is the hidden, unseen part that is asking for some time to be present and up front. And going with that flow, it can teach you so many things. This side, sometimes, you know, people don't want this side to show. They feel weaker, or maybe that's just how it was growing up, or you feel like this isn't good enough, and it's very connected with that feminine energy side of us. But this is the side that nurtures. This is the side where creativity is. This is the side where we come up with new ways to approach things. And it's the other half of us that's missing sometimes when we won't allow that to shine. Water energy can also feel very overwhelming at times because it's sensitive, especially if you're used to shutting them down or disconnecting from feeling things like that. It can feel overwhelmed. Anxiety sometimes plays a role here when we're trying to control the outcome, and we're afraid if we don't know what's going on. The energy of anxiety is really based in fear. If you think about anxiety, what's causing that? You're worried something might go the way you don't want, or you don't know what it is. And for people, that's a very serious thing that happens with anxiety attacks. I get that, totally know. And they're real for a lot of people. And what I want to give you is some empowerment to know this is attached to something fear-based, or this is attached to something I'm concerned about because it's unknown, or I'm trying to control something. High blood pressure in energy is very tied to trying to control something that is maybe somewhere where we need to go with the flow. This is just different energy perspectives on it. This is in no way trying to tell you to not take care of yourself if you have those conditions. This is the energy behind them. That sometimes knowledge is power, and we feel more empowered, and we're like, wait, this is not going to just be in control of me. I'm going to be in control of it. And it's ironic I'm using the word control, but it's more just being unaware of what it is. So when this activates, this is strong water energy activating on June 28th, next week. Neptune stationing in a water sign Pisces, and then you have the new moon as well. That's being mindful of holding your balance between your worlds, your inner and outer world. What comes from the hidden part of you? What part do you don't take seriously, or maybe you don't want to know that part? This is going to want some presence to teach you, and you grow through it. One of the best ways with water energy is to literally just stop trying to control it. Just go with it. And it's easier said than done in some aspects. I get that. And this is a choice. This is an absolute choice for everyone. Nobody's trying to make you do anything you don't want to do, but it's more, it's the easiest way to handle it, though. I find that if you just don't try to control it, just go with it and trust it. It's trusting what it's going to show you. It can be quite introspective. It can be quite deep. You can feel all kinds of emotions coming up to the surface that'll process. But it actually has a benefit to help you along the way. So instead of fighting the current, you're going to float with it and let it take you and show you some things you may not have ever seen because you wouldn't look at that perspective. So that's where Neptune energy, all these alignments coming together, it's going to be pretty strong. So, one of the things that can happen with this is it's, calming down, just taking time for self-care and grounding. You're looking to balance life. So if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed by all this energy, you take some time for yourself. Do some self-care. Take a deep breath. Take a break. Do something fun to get your mind off what you're fretting about. Things like that. This can help balance the energies, help you process them. So now we're going to be in Neptune Retrograde. That energy is going to be around for a bit till December 9th of 2022. 6 months. 6 months of Neptune Retrograde. So this is going to be a spiritual half of the year anyway with that one, because that's a very very spiritual planet. Also, this is the one about finding clarity. You're going to see where deceptions are exposed. You'll see illusions that you'll realize, oh, that wasn't real, this is real. It's going to help you decipher what's real and what's not real, things like that. Sometimes it can be that way. So if you put that intention with the angels that you want to know truth, this will help you a lot. Just ask. Just ask, like, I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to be gullible about some illusion. I want to know the truth. Some of us don't want to know. We'd rather just look at the illusion, I know. But we're just not ready to go there. And that's a choice too. There's not a right or wrong choice. It's just, are you ready? Are you not ready? So Neptune's a ruler of water, okay? Spirituality, creativity, the illusions, the deceits, dreams, art, intuition, fantasy, entertainment. You see, if you're in this creative side of life anyway, and that's your passion. So, I mean, Neptune, yeah, I feel energy that way, being an artist type of creator. Drugs and alcohol, addictions. So you want to keep yourself grounded, and you don't want to be afraid of this energy. You want to work with this energy so it doesn't take over and overwhelm and all that. So when you have this energy being strong, it can sometimes put this veil out there when it's like that causes the foggy confusion, like, wait, I'm not sure if I'm understanding that completely. Don't fret about that, just hang on. Because what it wants you to do is look past what's in front of you in the physical world. And it wants you to go inside, into the inner world, and look for guidance. It doesn't want you to find your reassurances on the outside world. It wants you to go inside and trust that. So sometimes that veil, you know, it's easy to go to, okay, this is what I can see and this is what I trust. I know what to do. But sometimes we get in the habit of doing that and we don't go inward and listen to that. And now that part's imbalanced, and it's not taking us where we need to go, and we never understand, how come I can't find those answers? How come I just don't feel satisfied? Where's my happiness at? All that. Because it's putting that veil over like that, causing that foggy confusion feeling, we're not going to get that answer real clear right in front of us in our physical world. Go inward to look for that. That's to just help nudge you. This is the universe at work here. So when the outside, and I recommend that anytime the outside world feels confusing, go inside. Just ask your angels, hey, I need to go inward. This is intuition practicing. This is trusting your own higher self. This is trusting that the universe is guiding you, not making it difficult, trying to nudge you and guide you along the way. It's helping you with the navigation, like, wait, don't go that way, go this way. It's to me, that's amazing in itself, that we have these opportunities to do that. So when Neptune enters retrograde, that's Neptune direct, what I was just talking about, where it can make it feel foggy and confusion. Okay, I apologize, I meant to say that. But when we go into retrograde with Neptune, that's when it lifts the veil and we see truth. We may have had something that we thought was real that really wasn't for us. It could be different for everybody, so keep that in mind. Sometimes illusions or deception can come crashing down. You might see that out there in the world in general, and you may see things like that happening, like, well, I thought I was doing something that was good for me, and then you find out, oh, I didn't know that. It's nothing like to punish or feel bad about. It could be simple, like, say you thought you were eating a healthy diet, and then you learn that something you were doing wasn't as good as you thought. There's nothing to be difficult about. It's just go, oh, okay, from this point on, I'm going to change that and do it different. Now I see, I didn't know that. So it will open your eyes to some things. Retrograde opens your eyes to the truth. When it's going direct, that's when it can be confusing at times. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to see some clarities and realities, probably in general, across at the collective and individually, and that could get interesting. We'll have to see what happens because this is in retrograde till December 9. So here's another part of it. So Neptune retrograde cycles, they also help you look back over events. So we're looking at events, and this is something to jot down and keep in mind. Events from late June of last year in 2021 to early December of 2021. You want to look to see what was going on, what kind of events, what happened during that time. You know, did you have anything major or anything like that? Because now it's going to bring you this dose of reality to whatever was going on then, and it might be like looking at it truthfully, honestly, clearly. So we're all learning different things, so keep that in mind. And then there's this collective thing for us. So Neptune being a ruler over spirituality, it's a good time to reflect on your spiritual journey. Have you been giving it time in your life? Is it time to take it more seriously? Because our spiritual journey is our inward journey connected with our soul. So are you walking in alignment with your soul? Are you even paying attention to that? A lot of times the disharmony and the feeling of disconnect comes from our goals in our physical world are not lining up with our soul. Or we're doing things we don't really want to do, and our soul's like, yeah, but we really want to do this. So it's working in harmony together. So these are things that might pop up for you. This is also a planet of unconditional love, and it reminds us to have that for ourselves and others. Unconditional love. Because if you start to become aware of something, you don't want to be beating yourself up for that. You want to have unconditional love about you're doing your best. Unconditional love, it's way beyond relationships. And this goes into that part of your soul. That part of your soul is unconditional. Loves you no matter what. Doesn't matter what you're choosing. But we're given opportunity here to really tap into this. So this is about loving who you are, really embracing and accepting who you really are, and knowing it'll come back to you. I love that. It's beautiful. Now, Neptune retrograde also reflects on how you can activate this. How can you activate unconditional love in your life? What's blocking you from love in your life? How can you connect with love energy that lives within and let it shine out? Let it shine out into you as a self-love and into the world that you live in with all the other people that you interact with. So, see, it's got some good stuff here. Yeah, giving Neptune retrograde a little bit of time here. So, depending on where you are on your spiritual journey, retrograde will guide you to feel more of this. To feel more of this unconditional love, to share more of this with others, to connect with your intuition, to just really tap into where you might be on the journey and what you're developing and strengthening. So perceptions could change, belief systems could change. You could find that looking at something from a different perspective completely changes where you're going. You're going, wow, okay, that can sometimes cause the change of heart, the change of direction. Don't be afraid of change of direction. I mean, to stay avoiding or hiding from a truth, to me, that's what would make me miserable personally. So I'm sharing, this. You want to take this energy and go, you know what, just show me what I need to know. Because there's so much healing when we go through those things. I mean, there's quotes out there. I can't remember who said them now, so I apologize. But there are wonderful things about this. Like, everything we want's on the other side of the fear. We have to go through sometimes getting past that to overcome it. And you don't have to do it by yourself, but don't let it keep you from learning truth. Don't let it hide you. Don't let it help you avoid life and then you're just stuck. So think of it that way. So if something significant happened to you in, this will take us back. Now we want to look at further back in 2021. So we went June to December a few minutes ago. Now I want you to look at April of 20. You want to look at April. So April of 2022, I apologize. So we're looking at this year. I'm getting confused a little bit, sorry. See, Neptune, thank you. So now we're in this year, April of 2022. So if you looked at that date, April 12, actually, that's when Neptune aligned with Jupiter. And Jupiter's the expansive, go with it, just try something, right? That was a very rare alignment as well. And so when it comes close to Jupiter again, this, it won't directly align with it like it did then, but it's going to have an issue where you want to look at October to December of 2022. It might match up. So April, whatever was going on then, and these are notes that you take for yourself. So pay attention to what I'm saying here. So look and just see what was going on for you in April. If you keep your journal, I have journals on my site if you want a journal for stuff like this. But if you pay attention and jot that down, and now when October to December comes up, you're going to see. So I'm telling you now because it's only a few months back. By the time we get there, it's going to be 6 months back. So if something happened significant with you in your life in April, Neptune in retrograde may actually help you make sense of whatever was going on. You might actually get that clarity and that perspective you've been trying to figure out. That's why I'm telling you about this. It's a good alignment. It's positive. It's positive. It's going to help you see the rewards for projects you might have been working on. It's going to help you figure it all out. So that's why I'm bringing that up. So Neptune retrograde, it just stirs things up with the water energy. It can lift the veil where it was confusing before. We can find our clarity. Lots going on here. Okay, so if you were working with this energy and you wanted to work with your angels, think about what would you ask? So what kind of affirmations would you use? So you would use stuff like, allowing your intuition. I allow my intuition to be my guide. I trust my intuition. I'm going to I'm looking to align with my soul. I am aligning with my soul. Things like that would work. You want to allow your creative juices to flow freely. I am creative and I allow it to flow. These are things you could look at. And then questions. What's preventing me from seeing the truth? Looking at the truth, facing the truth, things like that. If you feel confused about anything, what are you certain about? What are you certain about? Look at that. Regarding whether you feel confused or not, like if you're still looking for the clarity, remember this is going to be going on for a few months now, so just make notes, okay? Make your notes. Now that was Neptune. I know. Now I'm going to talk about the new moon. The new moon comes in just a few hours behind this Neptune retrograde on June 28, 29. And that will be in Cancer. That's another water sign, remember. So this is the sign the moon loves because it's kind of associated with the moon. This is Archangel Haniel. It's going to be fantastic for this energy. Remember, this one is the lunar angel, the one with the spirituality and intuition. So all of this because we have such a theme here going on with spiritual things and connecting with other dimensions. Archangel Haniel will be very helpful. Gabriel for the perspective. You want clear perspective, you want truth, you want that creative juice to flow. Archangel Michael, if you feel any fear, anxiety, overwhelm. So 3 angels right there, fantastic to ask and call upon while we're in this energy. So we know that new moons represent a new cycle, okay? They bring new energy. They give us a renewal energy. New moons they're the strongest of that new beginning energy when they're peaking, which is the June 28 date. and then the few days before and the few days after. So it kind of gradually increases, so you might feel it a few days before, and then it peaks, and then fades off. So that's why I'm just reminding everybody that might be new to that. So new moons, they're drawing energy to us. Okay? They're bringing that energy to us. And it's a good time to set intentions. So use your affirmations. Jot down your intentions. What is it that you want to bring into your life? It's a manifesting time. Manifesting. You've got to start with intention and then act on it. You want to think about what you want to attract in your life. That's what you do with new moons. Full moons are releasing and letting go of something old. Okay? We get this opportunity every month. I mean, that's pretty generous, really. If you had any new moon, under any new moon, that's the portal to draw things to you. Okay? That's what you want to receive in, where the full moon is releasing. There's a give and a take here. So that's a good way to remember that. You might feel a little extra sensitive with all of this lined up between all these energies. Honor that sensitivity. Know that it's connecting to your inner world, and you might just feel things a little bit more. There might be some things to address there for healing, because sometimes we just have to put that stiff upper lip up and just push that down and go about our day. But there's going to be times here where you want to honor what it's trying to show you. Why do you feel so sensitive about certain things? This is intuition's going to feel strong. You might feel so much more compassion. Don't forget to be compassionate about yourself. Don't forget that. Compassion for yourself as much as others. Know that we're all individually going through something. So if someone doesn't understand your sensitivity or something that may have triggered or made you feel a little raw on the edge there, let it go and just, it's a let it go. Have compassion for yourself. You don't have to be accepted by others. Don't worry about what they're doing. They're going to go through their own thing. They're going to be going through what they're going through. May I have anything to do with what you're going through? So it's trying to remember, like, just let it go. It ain't worth it. Not right now. I need to make sure that I'm good for, and I'm accepting me. You know, you're accepting you. That type of thing. So, if you've been hiding anything, like if you've been feeling out of balance, if you've been feeling like, okay, I just need to get a handle on this energy here, you'll be more responsive to that. You'll feel more connected with that, where you want to just anchor it in. And when you do that, you go with that, that's going to feel like strength and empowerment to you. That's what you want to do with this energy. If you've been hiding, just avoiding, feeling a little small, have you been putting yourself in the back of the room so others can shine? Making yourself seem less. This one might heighten that sensitivity a bit, where you want to carry out things and push through with what's right for you. You might feel that a little less, like, I don't want to be in the back anymore. I've got these beliefs and I want to get past them, and I want these intentions, and I want to trust, and I want to carry out what I'm here to do. That may pop up for you. If you've always been putting others first and you haven't given yourself any time, you're going to feel like you want to do that. That's because you should. There should be a balance. It should never just be one way or the other. Neptune being the planet of spirituality here, and illusion and higher truth, all that stuff, will be very, very active under this moon. Remember that. So all that together, this is a lot of information. You might want to bookmark this one to re-listen to sections, because goodness. Now, Neptune's stationing here in Pisces, and then we've got this full moon coming up. We're going to feel like new information, new inspiration, insights. We want clarity with this energy of water and all these feelings. And if we're going to go through this sensitive water thing and we're going to go with the flow, put your intention out there that you want that information, you want that clarity, and you want that inspiration for whatever it is you're trying to achieve in your life. Now that's manifesting for you. That's a great lineup right there to get deep, connect with that soul purpose, align with it, get that energy in check here, the perceptions, the veil being lifted so you can see clarity and the confusion falls away. Be prepared that some of the truths that will come out might be a surprise. Like, I wasn't expecting that, but okay, there it is. That's going to happen across the board collectively and for us at times, depending on your own individual situation. So just know, that some of them might be a surprise, but truth is truth. We can't keep hiding behind something that's a false wall. And there's so much, the false isn't going to hold. It's not going to carry through with your soul. Your soul's always there forever. You're just having a temporary life here right now. Remember, you're a spiritual being living in a physical world temporarily, really. So what are we supposed to get out of this while we're here? Something we can take with us. It's not all this physical stuff around us, right? What can we take with us on that depth of our soul? So I like that. So you're going to watch for that insight and clarity coming in as it unfolds. Remember, this is not a try to control it. It's a go with it and float. So, you can try to control and steer. You can try to fret. You can load your life over and over again with redundancy. And I say the word redundancy because it happens to all of us when we start fretting and worrying about what ifs and what should I do? What should I do? This is one of those times where you just go, I need to just let it go and let the universe show me. It's time to really listen, actually, to the universe. We talk about that when we're working with angels a lot. We ask, but then we have to just stop and listen too. We have to look for the messages that will come through. We have to look for what action can I take to manifest this into life, because that's part of it. It's not just asking. It's not just hoping. It's not just repeating the question and hoping and praying and over and over and over. Yeah, they heard it. But are you listening to the answer? Same thing here, same thing. We have to just stop and listen. It's kind of interesting. This is going to be an interesting second half of the year, really, to watch unfold for all of us and as individuals. My goal is to be, helping you find a way to tap into this stuff. I'm bringing this energy to you. I'm bringing how you can work with different angels because I truly want that for you. I want it for myself. I'm always working on what clarity do I need? What do I need to be working on? We're all working on it. Sometimes I feel like I'm working more than anybody else, but then I'm not. I'm working because I choose to. And you're working on it because you're choosing to. Some people are going to choose not to. You don't have to worry about that. This is about you making sure you're aligning. This is about what's going on inside of us. This energy will definitely give you a foundation to work with on this. Working with Haniel, Gabriel, and Michael are going to be phenomenal to work with in this energy. Remember, Michael, if anything's feeling toxic, negative, or fear. Gabriel, I need some perception clarity. I need to see this from a different perspective. I need to get my creative and inspiration going. I need to communicate clearly and listen. Okay? Haniel, that intuition, that connection to the other realms, that energy of the moon. Great combination. It's good. It's good energy here. I really like it. So if you're feeling a little extra sensitive or a little raw around the edges at times when you're getting up closer to this, set some boundaries, ground, do some self-care. Know that your energy is valuable. It's valuable. What do you do with valuable assets? You protect them. Your energy is valuable. You have to think of it that way. Now, okay, that's what I have for you. So, and I did put out a affirmation for this show. This one is, I go with the flow. You're claiming to the universe, I am going with the flow. However you want to word it. I go with the flow and I align with my soul. That's what your goal is here. I am grounded, and I find clarity on my spiritual journey. So that's what I've put out for you today. You can find that on the post on the YouTube channel, my website, the blog. It usually goes on the blog the next day, by the next day. So if you're listening on audio through all our different syndication channels, you can find all this information I'm talking about. So I want to go over and say hello to who has joined me for the live show today. Hello guys, how are you? Journey to Becoming Me, hello. How is everyone today? We have Shadana, good to see you, and Giovanna, hello. And let's see, Journey to Becoming Me. I feel like the more I get inside self in alignment and learn to love myself, it's like portals everywhere opening up. I've always gotten messages from those who have passed, but now, yeah, that's actually really amazing. I love that, because if you're going to get these messages, you may find that it's more active, the dream state. You might have a lot more company. You might have, you might find that it comes in easier. I wanted to remind everybody as well, nature is going to communicate too. The universe uses nature all the time. Pay attention with nature, all of it. I know, the weather too, right? It's funny because it was almost ironic, and it's not that I'm saying we've been given a heat wave or anything to make us go inside, but it was like, oh, it's forcing us to go inside because it's too hot. I went, that was just me thinking out analogies, and because I connect with nature so much, I go out and I see all these different amazing birds and different animals in the wild and in nature, and there's always a message in there. There's always a message. Sometimes I just sit out there. That's the way I meditate a lot. I just sit out there and I just ask for the messages, and they come in every time. So it's making you more aware that the universe is around you all the time. And I'm using what she's saying because it's really cool. She didn't really ask anything. She's just saying that. Maybe you have. Let me see what else. I only read one part. Hold on. Let's see. She's also saying, feels like there are messages coming from everywhere. Actually, I just answered that, didn't I? I didn't even see that part. It is so incredibly amazing and just wow, but why does this happen? Because you're ready to listen and feel that connection. It's actually happening all the time. It's just some of us don't have the channel turned on, and some of us do. And you just happen to have it turned on a little bit more right now, and that's amazing. There's messages, there's energy. We want to hear these messages coming from everywhere, because why not? Why wouldn't we want to see all these different perspectives? Maybe these all have different perspectives. Now, just a note on the ones that feel a little bit nervous about that, or the fear pops in, there's easy ways to make sure that you are listening to divine messages. You simply ask. You simply ask angels, or what you might be picking up, if it's divine. If it's not, go away. You can ask Michael to just clear away anything lower frequency that is not for your best interest or to serve the better or the greater good. You can simply ask for that protection anytime. And sometimes these messages, it's not like it's real formal all the time. I'm noticing it interacts all the time. So if anything is questionable or you find confusing or distressful, ask for some verification. You can ask an angel for his ID. Well, you can ask, you can ask that. And you can also just say, I don't want to hear it if it's not coming for that. So I'm reminding everybody that you can do that if that popped in. For some of us that are new to this, or we come from different belief systems that may make us feel a little nervous or we're scared, it's easy. You can just do that. You are choosing. You have free will. You can choose what you want to listen to and what you don't want to listen to. I mean, I've had things come in, and then usually if it keeps changing, another thing that you can tell is if the message keeps changing, or it's confusing, or it's chaotic, or it's conjuring a lot of that fear, just say, nah, thank you, Michael, we'll see you to the door. Thank you very much. Goodbye. That's what I would do. And you can do that as much as you need. But it can't bother you if you choose not to. Nothing can violate your free will. Remember that. Doesn't matter where it's coming from. So I'm only bringing that up for ones that might feel the overwhelm or the fear start to kick in. You don't need to be afraid of tapping into your intuition. Your intuition will bring a connection to the universe. And when the messages start to flow in and you're not used to that, it can happen. That's a tool you can use. You can always know that you're safe. Let's see, what else do we have here? I am sort of explaining why does this happen? Because there's different, it's like, you know, you're asking, maybe I sort of explained you. What I'm picking up in general as a quick answer for you is there's a lot of perspective for you to listen, and you're learning, you're deciphering. You're learning what you can trust and what you can't trust. So it's all good. It's all good. Just know if it doesn't feel right to you, it's a practicing. It's just a practicing. And it's actually pretty cool. It's very amazing. All right, Veronica, hello to you. Melissa, thanks, Jen. Feeling a little tired today. You know what? I felt like that last week. Yeah, some of that exhaustion is energy drain, and sometimes we just have to go, I need to recharge. I just need to recharge. Giovanna, Jen, I'm having a hard time making a decision on leaving my current job and ending a situationship. Okay. Do the angels have any insights for me in regards to that? You're having a hard time making a decision. Okay. They're asking me to ask you questions. I know. What I'm picking up, and it's coming from Michael, because if you're having a hard time making a decision, you're afraid to make a decision. That's a fear. You feel stuck to make a choice. So Michael's coming right through for you, very strong. He's saying, you need to get it pinpointed why you're afraid to make a choice, whether it's stay or go. You're also looking for, why are you staying? What is it you're afraid will happen if you made a choice? Whichever way. You're kind of working that out. Once you pinpoint that, because they're not going to tell you what to do. Remember, they support us making choices. It's important. He's helping you to not be afraid to make a choice. Ask him to be with you. But you're really wanting to pin down and narrow down what brings you the most joy? What will be the best choice for you? Are you afraid of what others are going to think? Are you afraid of all that repercussion? Are you afraid it won't work out? All these different things are popping up, but he's asking in general, why are you so afraid to make a choice? And he's saying that you do know what you want to do. It's more about the reactions and the outcome that you seem nervous about. That's fear of the future as well. Because remember, we can make a choice. It doesn't make it right or wrong. We can go try it. If it doesn't work out, we can try something else, depending on how embedded that is. But he's asking for you to challenge why you're so afraid of that. And he says, I'm going to be right there with you when you are ready. Because he makes a great career counselor too, by the way. He's really good at that. And so is Shamuel, by the way. One step at a time when you feel like there's too many steps at once. But it's getting it narrowed down to what's holding you back from making a choice. It's hard because there's something energetically blocking you from making a choice. It's either I mean, are we trying to just not upset an apple cart here? I keep feeling like I see an apple cart getting knocked over. And then you're like, oh, that's going to be just too complicated, so you don't do anything. I know that's the answer, and I have to give that to you because that's what he's saying. He wants to work with you in you going into a deeper mindset with that to pinpoint what it is. Because once you find out what that is and you're ready to walk through that fear and do it anyway, so to speak, it's going to be over with for you. It's going to be good. All that anxiety of making a decision, and you're going to be free. That freedom is going to be in making the choice. There's something's holding you back there, and that's what you're saying. That's how he's saying how you can find out and approach it. And he wants to work with you on that, but you got to ask him. Let's see here. I have goosebumps everywhere. Oh, because of all your messages. You know, that is, you're feeling the energy of different things. I mean, especially when you connect. I get the goosebumps and the surge when I get a strong confirmation from angels. When I'm doing these readings, sometimes Michael can come in very, matter of fact and real strong, and sometimes almost interruptive to wait, hey. And then I'll ask to confirm it, and I'll get this really strong surge of energy that'll feel like that. It's almost like a vibration goes through me, and then I know, okay, they're giving me, yep, now you're on track. It's kind of like the thumbs up. Yep, that's what I'm at. Sometimes he wants me to just say the craziest things, but it's not for me. I'm not supposed to question what he's bringing for me to share for you or answer your questions. I'm supposed to just go with it and trust it, because as soon as that was coming in for Giovanni, I'm thinking I have to ask a question back to her question. But it was like, do it. He was like, do it. And, I get this little nudge. He can be that way. He is that way with me. I mean, for me, all these angels have very strong personalities. That's how I know which one I'm with. And that when you're working with them individually, you'll start to learn these different personalities and how they resonate with you. I share how they're resonating with me. And Michael can make things feel very warmed up. When I'm burning off energies that need to come off and go away, I get very, very hot. I've always been that way. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's hormones when you're 10 years old, So, but it's like, or 5 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying these aren't because of that. This is burning off the energies that need to go. When we try to hold that energy, it can get hotter. So if you feel like, whoa, okay, I need to, and you might, I don't know if you're feeling that journey to becoming me, you might feel the heat sometimes. I don't know if you do or don't, but we want to make sure that's flowing off until it stops. So when I've done energy healing work, very extensive healing work, and I've pulled a lot of energy off people, it can get very hot, almost boiling hot. And then I have to make sure I'm clearing that all the way off, because it's just passing through. You don't want to keep all that, right? But when you ask him to help clear toxic energies, you could feel warm. I do every single time. I don't know if it works that way for everybody, but that's one of the ways I feel it, and I know he's pulling it. And it's almost immediate. Almost before I've even got the request all the way finished, it'll happen. Let me see. Veronica, I'd like help embodying my intuition, helping me to feel guidance in my body. Okay. In your body, when energy works, like if we are that's a good question. So let me answer that. As an energy healer, the whole body is an antenna, because everything is energy. And we're working with frequencies and vibrational frequencies. So you have the higher frequencies, the lower frequencies. You have angels that are resonating at a particular frequency, and you have spirit guides at a frequency, and you have all this different energy coming at frequencies. Absolutely, your body can be an antenna. As far as one of the easiest ways to explain it, when you're working with your own physical body and your health, or you feel ache and pain, looking for, okay, why am I feeling a problem in my leg, or why am I feeling a problem in my hands, or why do I feel a tension here, or maybe the goosebump thing, why am I getting that? That is your body's antenna picking up the energy. If you want that to be more in tune, you can. You're just working to be more aware of it. The best thing to do is not try to feel it, because as soon as you try to feel it, you won't. It's like psychic clairvoyance. When you try to see something spiritually, you're not, because you're trying to see it with your physical eye. It's only, these eyes are for this world. It's when you don't try that you'll see those things. It's easier than it sounds, because in this world we have to work so hard to do everything. The spiritual world is you're going to be. where you just are, you're going to be. It's more of that practicing go with the flow and just allowing it to take you where it's going to take you. Where in this world, we actually have to be proactive and do a task. So most of the time, we don't feel the antenna quite like others do, or that's what you're trying to do, is because you're trying to do it from a physical perspective. So I'm giving you that background because it can help you go, oh, okay. So one of the things is those little sensations, and the other one would be paying attention to your natural intuitive style. Clairvoyance is just one of them, seeing. Feeling is one. Hearing is one. Just knowing is one. Just knowing is the you know, I don't know why, but I just know something's up. You know, I don't know, but I just know this would be the right way to go. You know, I don't know why I know, but I just know that thing. That's that's actually an intuition ability. Okay, that's claircognizance. So you have clairaudience, you have clairvoyance, and you have claircognizance, and the clear, you know, feeling the goosies, or oh, and there's a smell. You can sometimes smell. You'll smell certain scents when maybe a loved one's around that might have been a pipe they smoked, or a scent, you know, that you associate with them. That's another one. So one of the things that can help the antenna is first work with the one that's the strongest for you, because clairsentience is very feeling. You feel the emotions. You feel things a lot, and that one can be a sensitive sign that might be a little stronger during this energy. But what I always suggest is that you can learn how to use them all, which I do use 2 or 3 at once most of the time. But you want to go with the one that seems to be the most natural one that's there already. For a lot of people that are analytical, or, you know, they analyze everything, you're probably a just no. You know, a lot of people that don't even know they have this ability usually have that one. You know, you get that gut feel, you know, yeah, that's your intuition, but that's how it'll pick up. Not everybody sees it. Not everybody's going to see it. You don't have to see it. There's different senses. So whichever one seems to work the easiest, I would say work with that one first. That helps strengthen the antenna to be in tune, the body, to pick up the sensories. And then you can start to practice on the other ones if you want. You can do that. So that was a long answer, but that's probably the best way that's the way I would recommend you approach that. Journey to Becoming Me. I feel like Archangel Michael can be a persistent with me, and I have to say I end up laughing a lot because I feel like he looks at me like, you gonna say, I'm going to stand here till you do. Yeah, he's kind of like, he's a very motivational coach, personal trainer like. You could do 10 more push-ups, you know. He reminds me of that. He's like, nope, let's go. Where when I've worked with Raziel, Archangel Raziel, you know, he'll give you things to do and you have to practice it, and he won't answer until you stop asking. You know, he's got all eternity to wait, and he has no problem waiting. So when you come, yeah, if you come, oh, I'm so excited to work with you. I want to learn about the esoteric stuff. And then you come through with that energy of like, ooh, I'm excited. Okay, teach me something. But you don't want to go through the lessons he's trying to show you. That's when it can take a while. So that's how I know him. Haniel comes across very soothing and very calm. It's a much more nurturing energy, like a feminine energy. And Raphael is like the most gentle speaking, suggesting things that would be good for healing and health and whatever you're trying to heal. So I have these different personalities, but yes, Michael can be the one that can come through very strong. You know, if they have energy, it's probably, his is probably Aries. But I don't know, I'm just kidding. But he does come through like, come on, you got this, you got this. He doesn't give up on us. We give up on us. Have you ever noticed that? They never give up on us. We give up. And they will just wait till we're ready to go. They'll just wait. So keep that in mind, that the universe doesn't give up and they don't judge us. And even if we decide, no, we don't want to go there yet, they're not doing that. But if they get any kind of sense that you really are asking for, yeah, I want that extra nudge, which I do. It sounds like you do too. They will keep, they'll keep encouraging. And that's what they want. They want the best for us. They want to help us get that energy up, that courage to take those next steps, to go to those soul depths, to connect with that soul purpose. They're there for us. We just have to ask, and we need to stay in the game and not give up. So that's how that works. So clairaudience is, okay, I'm moving on. Hi, Candace. Don't really feel warm, but feel very protective. Gotcha. Yeah, you know, every time I do a show and I'm doing the readings, I feel I'm warm. And because of the energy I'm connecting with all of you, and then it just has to process. So it's like, it's interesting. That's just how I know it's moving, you know. Good thing I like warm temperatures. Candace is there. Journey, that's so true. Awesome. And Veronica, clairaudience is my strongest sense. You are welcome, Veronica. Work with that one. Just work with it. Work with that one, and you can always learn the other ones. But working with that one's going to help. See, you might not get the goosies. You might just, you know, have the hearing. So let's see, journey to becoming me, LOL, that is a very professional political way to describe him. Yes, agree, very motivational. I know, I was trying to be nice, because he can be very strong. He can be, he's there. I mean, he can keep you motivated. Yeah, he can. And I am. He knows that, and he laughs at me, and we laugh together. And he just sometimes will stand there and shake his head at me like, yep, I know you. I'm like, yeah, I know you too. And I know that if I don't do this, you're going to just keep. And we go back and forth all the time like that. This is my personal stuff. And journey to becoming, oh yes, Raphael's such a warm, soft hug. He just gives you that insurance. Yes, Raphael's awesome. He gives you that insurance of, I just got goosies. I just got them just now. Oh, hey Raphael. He gives you that sense of, it's okay to heal. Healing is going to be good for you. It's nothing to be afraid of. You can do this, but way different approach than Michael. And he is very soothing in general. That's how I feel him. And it's always the same consistent nudge. Like, you might want to, you know, maybe change your diet habit here, you know, or you might want to take those extra couple of miles of walking. Or you might want to do, you know, he's really kind, and he suggests, but he's not in your face. You know, he's just, hey, you've asked, this is what I'm suggesting for you. And he can heal anything, emotions, relationships, grief, physical, you know, he's the physician of heaven. So I think he has a wonderful bedside manner. Let's put it that way. Let's see, where else are we? Candace, usually I just know that I know, I just know, I don't know the gift name. Claircognizance. I know these words are a mouthful, but yes, you want to listen to that one. So that one is yours. So sometimes when claircognizance is your strong suit, when you're younger, you were probably the boss of everybody on the playground field. You were the one that told everybody how to do it and what to do. That's kind of, it's not everybody that's that way, but sometimes you were that child that knew it all, or you were the one that knew and you were going to be the one that led and do different things. And it shows up usually in very young children that way. Like, that's the one, there's the organizer, or there's the one leading the pack, and as we get older, we settle into that, and we're not quite doing that as we grow aware that I don't think everybody likes me being so bossy. But that's usually how it'll show up in very young children. And you can just watch children play, and you can kind of pick out what their intuitive natural gift is. It's kind of cool, but that one really sticks out. It's always stuck out to me. The one that can see all the animals in the clouds and all the different shapes, that's got some clairvoyance in there. And the one that hears every little cricket, maybe some clairaudience there. And then that sensitive child that's just feeling everybody's emotions. You know which one that one is. Yeah, so that one, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to watch children. Me bossy. Are you bossy? It's like you're writing it down. Let's see. Me bossy. I'm still the one that knows. I have a t-shirt that says, I could be wrong, but I did. Okay, see? Okay, so she's keeping that part of her. And I mean, I gotta be honest, I've probably been called that, but I also, my two were that one, and I was also very sensitive. Empaths really relate to the sensitive one, where they feel everything. You might feel it all. So I've got 2 or 3 that are very strong. I hear crazy stuff. I mean, people that know me, they joke, and pardon me here, but they, because I'm always thinking I'm being so loud, and then I get teased because I can hear things that, what is it, the animals are hearing, and how am I hearing what dogs hear, that kind of thing. And I get teased like, you can hear a gnat fart 2 miles away. I get told that. So so I don't know if Veronica feels or hears that one, but I have that one. I can see all this, I can hear them, I know, and I can feel them. So I've been working on all of them. Everybody can do that. You can work on them all, because I feel like if I've got them, go with your strongest one, but then as you work with them and you bring in more of the skills, it's easier to not doubt. Let me put it that way. Because the goal of your intuition is to not second guess it. As I've been working with it over the years, and I do the readings and I do more of that, sometimes I want to go, oh, you really want me to tell them that? But I can't hold that back. I've got to just say what's coming through. Not what they want to hear. That wouldn't be a true reading to me. I always look for something that can help them, bring them up, which is what angels do, which is why I love working with the angelic realm. But I have to give you what they're bringing to me to answer your question. And as I've worked and developed all those different skills, there is no second guessing, just do it. You don't have to be in the same room with somebody. You can use different tools, like sometimes we pull out the iPad and I'm using the colors and things like that. But I also want to know that I'm picking it up. So you'll see me mix it up and do different things each week, because I have the different ones. Some days one's stronger than the other. So who out there has, a gnat fart? I know, isn't that scary? I know, I know, but that's what I've been told. And I was like, are you teasing? Yeah, that's because they were acknowledging, my God, your hearing is insane. When I was younger, I think I was in high school, my father had all these, he was an electronics guy, and not internet or computer, but electronics, like the old TVs and radios and stuff like that. And he had all this frequency equipment, and he was making comments. He goes, my God, your hearing is insane. So he was testing my hearing, and it kept going up where nobody else could hear these tones, but I could. So it's just, that's been there. because I've worked with angels, gosh, my whole life, honestly. I mean, they've just always been there. They've pulled me out of some crazy stuff. So I just can hear those tones. I hear, if you have clairaudience, sometimes you hear music that's not there. I hear music like that all the time. It's usually classical music. I like classical music. I don't know if that's why it's classical, but I hear music like I'm hearing music from another dimension, or I'll hear conversations from another dimension. That's a little bit about the clairaudience one for me. I'm just sharing the way I've experienced it. But the visuals are amazing. The visuals come in. I see those visuals, but you don't see them with this eye, remember. So if you're trying, you're always looking to not try to see it physically. That's a little bit of a trick there. And most of the time we're trying to see it the way we're used to seeing in our physical bodies, and that's just the opposite. It's totally opposite. You're letting go and going with the flow when you're working with intuition. If you had two little short things to put up to remind you, you're going with the flow to work with that spiritual side of you, the intuition, the psychic abilities. It's very different from doing. It's not a doing. Remember, we're not human doings, we're human beings. And so you're going to just be in that space. And you're just going to go about your day and let it come in naturally. Believe it or not, it's easier than we think. It's so much easier than we think. We just keep making it harder and harder and harder because we keep trying to do it. And that's what happens. So with that, I'm going to close out this show because we've gone over a little bit, but I've totally enjoyed being with you today, and we talked about a lot of stuff. So if you guys need to go back over some of the sections, first half of the section we worked with the Neptune Retrograde. Second half we worked with the new moon and some readings. So I wish everyone a great holiday. We're going to be out of here for a couple weeks. Got family coming in. Going to have a lot of stuff going on here. So we will be back after the holiday, the July 4th holiday. The week after that, not that week. So a couple weeks. Next week we'll be off, and that holiday week will be off. So we'll be back 2 weeks after that. I wish everyone a very safe and positive experience in this Neptune retrograde in Pisces and new moon in Cancer energy. Go with the flow. Don't forget, go with the flow. It will be worth it to you, and that's how you'll find your clarity. Much love to you, and thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to the Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any other show, visit www